you only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
It is June 24th, 2014. This is Take the Gate. It is an article by Greg Corombos, and it's from WorldNet Daily. And this is from his radio, or from the radio program at WorldNet Daily. There is an attempt to marginalize people who hold views that sharply differ from the establishment. So they're considering this as thought crimes in the United States. And I'll just read a little bit of this. The Justice Department is resurrecting a program designed to thwart domestic terrorists in the United States, said Attorney General Eric Holder. Says those threats include individuals the government deems anti-government or racially prejudiced. The Domestic Terrorism Executive Committee was created in the wake of the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, but was scrapped soon after the 2001 terrorist attacks as intelligence and law enforcement officials shifted their focus to threats from outside the country. The committee will be comprised of figures from the FBI, the National Security Division, and the Justice Department, and the Attorney General's Advisory Committee. According to reports from Reuters, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, is pushing back against the DOJ plan, fearing that it could be a sweeping mandate to monitor and collect controversial speech, which it is. Conservative groups are alarmed on multiple levels. First, they see themselves once again the target of an administration that disagrees with them philosophically. And this is a quote from the chairman of Project 21 National Advisory Board, a network of black conservatives. It appears that there's an attempt to marginalize people who hold views that are sharply different from those of the administration and much of the establishment, said Horace Cooper, co-chairman of the Project 21 Advisory Board. Cooper said that plenty of residents dealt with critical speech, particularly in opposition to the Vietnam War and even the Iraq War. He said, "No president has ever responded like this. We didn't arrest them due to their speech. We didn't try to prevent them from being able to express themselves on campuses. We didn't try to prevent them from trying to enter into the public square," he said. The administration appears not to appreciate the lesson that says that the groups of people that are not within their particular perspective ought to be considered the very threat. That the real terrorist threat that comes internationally. I will leave a link at the bottom. As you can see, it is not just conservatives that the Obama administration is targeting. The so-called most transparent administration that self-aggrandizes its transparency with redacted reasons for killing Americans overseas with drone attacks. And then liking that to police officers in the middle of a crime. How ridiculous is that? And I'll just read you a little bit more of what he says. We are still under a threat watch. We still have all the security measures that we put in place after 2001. The period of 2001 to 2008 was a period in which we thwarted more than a few. Some of those have been made public, but many of those have still not been made public. But what we've seen since the beginning of the Obama administration is that many of these attacks, whether they're increasing or not, are being more effective. They're actually happening, Cooper said. To shift more resources away from the threat that's real to this theoretical problem is harmful to the safety of Americans. And it is more about political agenda than it is about protecting Americans. So I will actually tell you something more about this, that multiple streams of children are coming from our southern border, and Obama has basically told the border security in the southern part of the United States to stand down because they are children. And this has been orchestrated and designed as a retaliatory measure against the anti-immigrant sentiment here in the United States. You can only call it for what it is. There are people coming to this country that are citizens, but they're not our citizens. They're someone's citizens. So I'll just leave it at that. This is Take the Gate. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing out.